Hello, everyone. It is me again, and today, honestly, I just want to give my thoughts about Roblox trading. Now, when it comes to trading, I have kind of like a lot of like mixed things about it. A lot of mixed things to just say about it in general. Because Roblox trading, in my opinion, can be fun, but at the exact same time too, it could kind of be just annoying to do. So, in order to trade, first off, you need to have Roblox Premium on your account. And not only do you need Roblox Premium, you need these items called limiteds, which are they're items that have just limited quantity that you can either buy off people or trade for them. Now, trading in Roblox is very interesting because you can trade up to 4 items, and maybe if you want to, you could ask that person to give you 4 items. However, there's a lot of variables when it comes to trading, at least from what I found out from trading for my first time to like now. There's just a lot to deal with. You got wrap, demand, value, and other factors like projected, which, oh my god, it's going to be quite a bit to talk about, so let's just sit down real quick. So, first thing I want to talk about, when it comes to trading on Roblox, I think it's a lot of fun. I think it can be a lot of fun. But at the exact same time too, there are just times when people just send me trades and I'm just like, no. A lot of the times when you are trading, it's a very mixed bag, I will say. You can go to games like Trade Hangout and stuff like that, but I'm gonna be brutally honest with you guys. Trading is kind of really hard to get into, in my opinion. At least from like my personal experience, bro, there's just so many sharks. If you guys want to know what like a shark is, it's just kind of like somebody who's just trying to like really just take advantage of you, like just saying like, oh well, this item's not really worth that much, it might drop and stuff like that, you know, stuff like that. And sadly, there's just a lot of those in the trading scene. I receive a crap ton of lowball offers, even for some like high demand items that I do own. Well, at least just one I own, which is I think the 8-bit Royal Crown. But sometimes, like, bro, the trades I will get for them are just so bad. And I even get like offered projecteds a lot of the times. Now, I want to explain this real quick. A lot of the times when you're getting sharked, they'll either lowball you or they'll offer you an item called a projected item. A projected item is an item that's value is like so inflated because some random guy decided to buy the item for like, let's say like 300,000 Robux or something. Like an insane price. That's when an item's like projected and its like value is like artificially inflated. In my opinion, projecteds are probably the most common offers I personally get. It's kind of sad, but it's true. So many people just try to like project flip is what it's called, where it'll offer you like a projected item for like a pretty, like a good item, like let's say a high demand item. Like it seems like a good offer because like you could have like an 8-bit Royal Crown worth like, let's say 30,000 value right now, and some guy can offer you a projected that has like, you know, like 80,000 value. The issue is though, that projected isn't really worth that much. That's the big thing about it. It's not really worth that much. It's not really worth trying to, you know, like trade for, in my opinion. So like a lot of those times, like especially if you're a new trader, you could probably get tricked into you know, accepting a projected. Me personally, I don't really accept projecteds. Every time I do get a projected offer, I kind of just reject it outright because just I kind of know what they're just trying to do, so I just kind of like reject it. But like it really can be pretty annoying when you're trying to trade, especially when a lot of the offers you get are low balls, people saying it's actually an overpay when it's not, and just people offering you like projecteds. Now, you can check for like an item if it is projected on the Rollimon's website. This website right here is a really good website to see like what all the items are worth. They do have a Discord, but like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. The Discord is like the circle of greed down there. Oh my God. That server is kind of wild. I'm not even joking. The server is just, oh my God. There is so many people like trying to hype up items, and then just like also like so many sharks in there as well, that like I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because the amount of people that are just in there just like hyping up items and stuff like that is ridiculous. Though I will admit though, a lot of the people in there, in my opinion, are kind of unlikable because they seem to make their entire personality around one item. Like, sure, I'll be honest, I love antlers. Antlers, in my opinion, are the best items in Roblox. I'm like Onipixel when he sees like a really good skin in CS, except it's for Roblox antlers, like Wanwood.
Oh, booty, it's Blackball! It's Butterfly Doppler, booty! It's Butterfly Doppler! It's Butterfly Doppler!
So like, I do love certain limiteds, but like, bro, I wouldn't base like too heavily, like be like so obsessed where I'm posting like AI generated images of like Hellsworn Valkyrie or something like that. In my opinion, it just really seems like they just kind of make their entire personality around that, and they just start hyping it up, and you know, it's really weird. Now, there are other things that I do know certain item that happens to certain items, and it's called hype. I do know when an item gets hyped, a lot of the times people all of a sudden will just start going crazy for that single item, overpaying for it and stuff like that, and just going absolutely wild. And then you also have stuff like fake hype, where it's just items that are like, they're getting hyped, but they're not really hyped, if that makes any sense. Like, they're doing like their best to like really hype up the item to make it seem like, oh, this item's doing a really good, we should really start investing in this right now. And then next thing you know, later down the line, the item loses like 5k value or something like that. It's really something like weird. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the Rollamon stuff like figured out, the Rollamon server and all that stuff. I'll be real with you, it's kind of weird to me, but like, that seems to be very common in that server. Me personally, I don't engage with the Rollamon's community because like, I'll be honest with you, a lot of them just kind of seem unlikable. I'll be real with you, that's just really about it. But I would still heavily recommend though using the website, because of the fact that it'll give you information on all the limiteds right now. Like for example, me clicking on like the Hellsworn Valkyrie right here, it shows me that the item is projected, because if we look at the things recently, we can see that I think somebody, this guy right here, mass bought a crap ton of Hellsworn Valkyries, and because the item just all of a sudden went up so quickly, it ended up getting the projected tag. And there are other things you can check for, like let's say for example, like 8-bit Royal Crown, if you wanted to see how that's doing. You can see that this item is considered an amazing demand item with having a stable trend, meaning the price tends to be like, you know, pretty stable, stays around like the same price usually. And you can check how many copies of the item are hoarded and how many copies are available. Now, there are a lot of things that I do know that do influence in items like demand and popularity and price. I know 8-bit Royal Crown, in my opinion, is kind of an anomaly, because back then when I used to be actively trading back in like, I want to say like 2014, the item at best I believe was around this price point. I think it was only worth 12k back when I was actively trading. The item was only worth 12k to 14k wrap, or like value. Now the item's all the way up to like 30,000. If I had to guess, realistically, I think the reason why the crown went up so much is because it's either Robux inflation, or it's just because this item has a particle effect. I do know items with particle effects tend to be pretty damn expensive, especially some of the limiteds. I know, like for example, like the frozen horns of the underworld. This one's worth 2.2 million Robux. Or you have stuff like a Ghost Deary which Ghost Deary is worth 2.8 million value. So kind of very insane and expensive items. But me personally though, I think they don't beat the antlers, bro. In my opinion, like look at the antlers, dude. Like look how sexy that green is. Oh my god, dude, that is so hot. But like realistically though, like I think the reason why like 8-bit Royal Crown has done so well though is because it is a particle effect item. But you know, it can't be antlers though. But like realistically speaking though, there's a lot of factors to like consider when you are looking at trades. Because like when you're trading, at least from what I know, you really want to try to aim for getting just demand items, like items that can probably get overpaid in order to grow your wealth. The thing is that like the only issue is though, it's kind of hard to do it. From what I know, I almost said 8-bit again, my bad. Back then, trading used to not have holding periods. Right now, if you trade an item right now, you have a 2-day holding period for that item before you can even trade it again. Back then though, it was very easy to trade because there was no holding period. Once you traded an item, you can immediately trade it again. From what I know now, it's a lot more harder to trade. You can still trade and still be successful. However, it's just kind of annoying to do now because you have to constantly wait before you can even trade for something else. So like, yeah, it's really kind of a mixed bag now. And trying to get those good trades, like I said, they're kind of really rare now because of the fact that everything is like kind of a bit more slower now. But you know what? In my opinion though, I think trading is pretty fun. It's pretty nice sometimes to get the items that you want. Like for me in particular, eventually I would probably want to get like all of the antlers. Definitely not the antenna antlers though. That's not happening. But if I can at least get everything up to Wanwood, I would be pretty happy with that. Right now, my pride and joy right now are the big Silverthorn antlers. These things are drippy as hell. And sure, nobody buys them, but hey, guess what? I love them. So they have a special place in my heart. But you know what? That's just really about it. Sorry, wow. Jesus, I'm really mixing up my words for this video, am I? But that's all I really just wanted to talk about though. In my opinion, trading is so interesting and there's probably way better guides you can look up on the internet. One thing I will say though, I would be careful with maybe some of the people you watch videos from. Because I do know certain like trading YouTubers, like I think in particular Highly Wanted. I'll be honest about that dude. His content is super hit or miss, in my honest opinion. That dude's content, I remember he made a video about the Spectre Time Fedora and saying that it's a good buy. Well, bro, look where it is at right now. I'll be honest with you guys. I think you gotta sometimes be careful with trading YouTubers because like they'll either offer some alright advice or just some stuff that's just kind of definitely not worth it, you know. I know Highly Wanted, I know in like the Rollamons community is not really liked. There's like memes of him calling him highly sharked, which I'll be honest with you, that is funny as hell. I'll be brutally honest with you. Because like I'll be brutal. I think like people like Highly Wanted, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think they just get like a lot of freebies a lot of the times. And they end up getting a lot of wealth from fans and then just like other people they know. That it's very easy just for them to easily grow their wealth, like outright. Very easy for them to grow their wealth. Because like realistically trading, bro, if you're gonna try to trade up to a lot of value, it's gonna take months, bro. Months, possibly even years. The only reason why people maybe like Highly or any of the other bigger YouTubers probably can do it is because they have a big audience and sometimes that audience is willing to give them free stuff outright. Willing to give them free value and everything. So like for me in particular, I would always be very iffy about Roblox trading YouTubers. That's just my honest opinion. Anyways guys, that's just my thoughts on trading. I do like it. It does kind of get kind of annoying though when you do get offered a lot of low balls, because there's just so many sharks out here now that like it's kind of sometimes not fun to like trade. Like I know I have like some like friends that like ask me sometimes like, hey, is this like a good trade or not? And I have to tell them like, no, definitely not. So like yeah, I will say if you want to try it, you can give it a shot, but like I would heavily recommend starting with maybe like a high demand item. Not only that, you do need quite a bit of Robux from what I know just to even get started in this like trading scene. But anyways guys, that's about it. Antlers on top.